And just that last pass for Glasgow at the minute, going astray.
Yeah, it's definitely all a little frantic. But as you said, Glasgow Warriors are stringing together some really exciting attacking phases and really putting pressure on this Wolfhounds team.
Moyles goes long again. Seems to be the tactic today. Kick it long. Katie Corrigan up in chase. And she puts the player into touch.
Great work by Katie Corrigan and iomlán, combining together there. Kind of initially thought maybe they wanted to try hold up the Glasgow Warrior, but we pushed them out over the try line, and it's great territory gain from that long kick from Abby Moyles, as you mentioned.
Robin Allen, her first start today for Glasgow Warriors in this competition.
Well, that was a nice welcome from Katie Corrigan and iomlán.
Katie Corrigan started her rugby journey in Tullow from Denard in County Wicklow.
She's a proud Wicklow woman.
Made her Irish debut during the 2024 Six Nations. That's a good take at the line out, and here comes the maul, motoring forward. To go around the corner. Here's Higgins with the step. Malloy lining up, and Caoimhe Malloy twisting, turning, try. And it all came from that line out platform.
Yeah, it was a hugely impressive maul from the Wolfhounds. In that area, you would expect them to be mauling, but definitely they've hugely work organisation in their roles. Everybody knows exactly where they're hitting, their angles, and they made a huge amount of momentum on that. And then the backs just lining up outside, stretching the defence and leaving those gaps for the forwards to flood around. But great work from that forward pack. Eve Higgins again just making the Glasgow Warriors defence suck in and defend her, but great upper body strength from Caoimhe Malloy to twist over that line.
First red zone entry and a score. The perfect start.
Well, it just goes to show this Wolfhounds team, they can be under all sorts of pressure on their own try line, but they back themselves and they have the confidence in their defensive structure, and within a matter of phases they're crossing their own try line on the other end.
Abby Moyles sticks over the extras, 7-0. McNamara gets us restarted. And it's knocked on. And the Glasgow Warriors will have a scrum in the 22. So a good outcome for them and a chance for them to find a riposte straight away.
Yeah, just an uncharacteristic knock-on again from the kick-off. But Glasgow Warriors putting huge amounts of pressure on the Wolfhounds in this area. They'll be happy to play in this zone. So I'm expecting to see some sort of a launch play off this right-hand side scrum from the Glasgow Warrior team.
Set-piece platforms. You can do so much with them. The building block for attack. Ainsworth to Blacklock. Combines with her centre McNamara. A fresh advantage, but the Wolfhounds have ripped it. Vicky Elms-Kinlan by the looks of things. And they cleared their lines and goes the advantage, but there's a brand new one. Knocked on from Douglas.
Yeah, I think Glasgow Warriors will be disappointed with their ball retention there. Their opportunities, they really will want to capitalise on them, especially after last weekend. They were disappointed with their performance against the Clovers. So to be in a really good attacking opportunity in the Wolfhounds 22 and not retain ball will be hugely disappointing for Lindsay Smith.
Lindsay Smith spoke before the game about wanting a full 80-minute performance from her team. Gaffney, the Belvedere player. Maggie Boylan. Kinlan. And away come the Wolfhounds. Every time they attack, they make meters. Go down that short side. Quick ball is the key. Higgins steps again, dances past a few defenders, sets it up. Malloy, the try scorer, soft hands to her prop partner, but Jugang is hit hard.
It's a huge tackle from Gemma Thompson.
Through the middle, the Wolfhounds go again, but the door is shut by Glasgow. Fiona Chute is next, in line to make a break, and Fiona Chute full stride. They're in the 22, the tails are up. Malloy. But they weren't on the same hymn sheet, and it's been knocked on, but Glasgow can launch a counter-attack. Blacklock sends it long into the hands of Amy Larn. Katie Corrigan. And the Wolfhounds want to attack again. And the penalty comes, and helter-skelter stuff at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely has been. I think in these opening couple of minutes, both teams just wanting to nearly make line breaks on that first phase. Bit unnervy offloads that aren't on when there is people in the passing channels. But a lovely break from Fiona Chute there. Unfortunately, the offloads from Caoimhe Malloy just didn't go to hand.
And into the corner they go. Can they produce the same result that got them that first try? All started from the line-out platform.
What a break from Fiona Chute. We talked about her athletics background. She really pinned the ears back and running with that ball in two hands. Just make the defenders have to check if she has support. But would be fully expecting a maul from this Wolfhounds team at this area in the park, especially given the gains that they made off it.
And a variation at the line-out, and they break away. Smart play from the Wolfhounds. Front up carries again. Jade Gaffney with quick ball. They smell another. Almost there. Out the back door now. Swift hands, but Glasgow make their tackles. They go through the middle, and there's the try. And it's Erin King, the new Irish captain, who gets over the whitewash.
Yeah, and there was some great interplay there, between the forwards and the backs, pulling it out behind from Eve Higgins to Katie Corrigan coming around off her wing. But, great defensive effort from the Glasgow Warriors, really making those front up hits. A great tackle from Poppy Mellenby on Katie Corrigan. Perhaps there could have been a try earlier through those phases, but the defensive effort from the Warriors was huge. But at the end, it is Erin King that crashes over.
What a month for Erin King. Recently announced as the new Irish captain. Back from injury a few weeks ago. Life is good.
Yeah, she had a really unfortunate injury, but did some absolute Trojan work in her rehab. So great to see her back. And as you said, a huge month for her. Abby Moyles getting the benefit of that right-hand post. She even looked surprised herself in that reaction.
It drifts over the bar, and sometimes you need a bit of luck.
The Wolfhounds definitely seem to have a bit of luck on their side. But as you said, the defensive efforts from the Warriors has been huge in these opening few minutes. Katie Corrigan just denied short of the line herself before Erin King crashed over.
They target that side again. The Wolfhounds go to O'Leary. Maeve O'Leary won an Interpro with Munster as a captain this season. Moyles puts one high into the sky. Glasgow have the ball now. Poppy Fletcher, so good off the bench last week, earns her start this week. But you can see Jugang again involved, trying to rip that ball away.
She makes it look easy when she comes up with it.
Ainsworth Tries to knock one in behind, and she's lost possession in the process. Malloy tips it onto O'Leary. They might look to kick here, the Wolfhounds. But Fiona chewed again in full flow, making meters all the time, the second row. And they go down the right. Katie Corrigan, she's on her bike with the step, and Katie Corrigan won't be stopped. And that's a brilliant try.
Yeah, a great finish from Katie Corrigan there, but lots of the hard yards done by the forward pack in the centre. Maeve O'Leary with some great carries. Kate Jordan had a lovely clear out. Fiona Chute again, wheels to burn. Fiona Chute making a lovely break in the middle again. It just sucks the Glasgow Warriors defence in. You see Erin King with lovely vision, getting the ball out wide. But Katie Corrigan, she has gas and she knows where the try line is, and there was no stopping her from that distance. Just a lovely simple step off her right side to get right under the posts.
Katie Corrigan with the third try, and not even 20 minutes gone on the clock. 119 points in the last 2 games. The Wolfhounds, they're the team to beat at the moment. And 3 from 3 at the kicking tee for Abby Moyles. 21-0 the score.
It's just been so great to see the interplay between all the new players coming into the lineup. 3 new players involved there. Abby Moyles with the 2v1 draw and pass to Katie Corrigan, and Amy Larn chasing on Katie's inside. So it's just great to see new players being able to come into the mix and still slotting in seamlessly, knowing the game plan, knowing the game structure, and being able to get those extra minutes under their belt.
But Neil Alcorn in deliberation with his coaching staff. But he'll be happy enough with the start. But again, off the restart, if there was one area of the game that the Wolfhounds haven't been great at so far, it's from that restart.
Yeah, especially when, Glasgow Warriors have been hitting the same spot every time. So
something they've identified, obviously, during the week.
Absolutely. So the Wolfhounds should be kind of making a plan as to whether they need to come up flatter rather than leaving that pocket that the Warriors are attacking, because it is difficult coming on to catch a high ball from behind. You have to time it perfectly.
Ainsworth, tricky feet. But again, the Wolfhounds competing on the ground and winning back possession. Malloy, it's on here if they can get it loose. Jugang, and away they come through Maggie Boylan and Jugang. Linda Jugang, a steam train that's rolling into the station. Linda Jugang, props can do it all.
I feel like every time I'm commentating, Linda Jugang makes a break. But what wheels and what interplay between forwards and backs. That's a try that you see it all. Great work from Maggie Boylan out here on this left wing, but just the insight from her, and obviously getting great communication from Linda that she's on her inside. But yeah, Linda Jugang is a hard woman to stop when she gets going.
A prop that has it all.
Exactly.
Power, pace, the lot.
She pins the ears back. Great try from Linda Jugang.
Gone are the days of a prop that can only scrum.
And she's good at that as well, Kieran.
Moyles, perfect from the as I'm about to say it, the post. This hit, commentator's curse. 26-0.
I think she profited off the post the first time, but it wasn't to be.
But a lightning quick start from the Wolfhounds.
It is, and I think the Warriors will be disappointed. They obviously came out and really want to put pressure on this Wolfhounds team, but their ball retention has been something that's been letting them down. Even when they've been in very good attacking areas, they're just giving that ball up to the Wolfhounds too easily, and they're a very, very difficult team to stop when they get into their jouet attack.
They seem to be targeting Clare Bowles every time off the restart.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily Clare Bowles, but they would have their pacey kind of wing Sky Fimister, Poppy Mellenby over this side to chase it. So there is that extra pressure in your eye line of whoever is trying to catch that high ball, that you do have players flying in, solely looking to time their tackle on you.
But the Wolfhounds have a scrum on halfway. And there was a question going into this game with the new halfback pairing. Would that make any change, like you said? Would the backline be disconnected in any way? But so far, so good for the Wolfhounds.
Yeah, as you said, so far so good. I mean, we have to remember, it's not just a new pairing for today. These players will be, training week in, week out with different combinations. So it's not going to be the first time that these girls are playing together. Yes, it is the first time they're playing
in a live situation.
Yeah, it is the first time they're playing in a live situation. And I think Glasgow Warriors have put definitely some threat on Abby and put some pressure on her. But even from her body language, and we can see in the comms box, she's always scanning, she's communicating with the players around her. She's worked very well linking the forwards and the backs so far. So, no, I think it's been really great to see the players stepping up today and getting their opportunity.
And Moyle spots the space, knocks it into touch, but it's out in the full. So Glasgow will have the throw in at the line out.
Yeah, she just marginally kicked it too far, but as I said, she's always scanning, and the vision, she knew exactly where the space was, and it would have been a great territorial gain had it bounced in before going out. But I expect to see the Wolfhounds challenging this line-out from Glasgow Warriors.
A clean take at the line-out. Bogan brings it down, and they go through the middle. Kubera. But again, the Wolfhounds working hard on the ground, get over the ball.
And who else but Aaron King?
And every time Glasgow Warriors try and get a flow to their game, build the phases, the Wolfhounds get over that ball, and they either wrestle it away or they win a penalty at the breakdown.
Exactly, and look, it's obviously a huge positive for the Wolfhounds team, and they get back into the game that way, but I think Glasgow Warriors really need to look at that ball breakdown area and their ball retention there. It doesn't mean anything if you have players coming around the corner. If you're not retaining the ball and retaining the breakdown, it means nothing.
Not straight at the line out, so the ball given straight back to the Warriors.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what they set up here. At present, they're just leaving Sky Fimster out here on this right wing. The sun is in their eyes, but I'd fully expect to see something in the centre, maybe through Blacklock or McNamara. Two great players.
Blacklock so experienced.
Yeah, they work so well together as well, albeit they haven't had a massive opportunity together in the centre.
Special mention for Nicole Flynn as well last week, who scored 2 tries against the Clovers. But the Wolfhounds flex their muscles at the scrum and get the penalty, so they go straight down the tracks.
Yeah, I think it's Poppy Fletcher who's being penalised by Kevin Coffey for her angles at that scrum.
Do you miss the scrums?
I definitely would prefer the second row to the front row anyway, although there hasn't been any talk of ever going into the front row.
Blackrock might ask you at some stage.
The dark arts of the scrum are definitely something that it takes a long time to learn.
Chute goes up again, but it's an overthrow. And away come the Glasgow Warriors. Sutcliffe on the charge. They'll boot it away through Ainsworth. But the Wolfhounds will run it back. Larn decides to kick actually. Ainsworth connects with her fullback, Malambi. But she doesn't get very far. The Wolfhounds are on her, and they make the tackle, and then somebody follows it up at the breakdown, and another penalty.
They're taking that penalty quick.
And they're going quickly. No waiting around, but maybe the wrong option on that occasion. They weren't connected in attack, and Glasgow spotted it, and Emily Kubera gets over it.
She's saying, whatever you do, I can do just as good. But yeah, definitely getting a little bit scrappy. I think both teams just wanting to get the momentum to swing in their favour. But a little bit disappointing that line out, 2 line outs in a row from the Wolfhounds. We've had one not straight and one being overthrown. So yeah, definitely an area that the Wolfhounds will want to work on. But great work from Claire Bowles getting that turnover, and a big carry from Maeve Ogue. She just gets a little bit separated from kind of Claire Bowles, Vicky Elms-Kinlan, but great work and great body profile from Emily Cooper to get over that.
And Glasgow through the middle, and loose head, Poppy Fletcher, Blacklock. They go into traffic, but again, 1 or 2 phases and the Wolfhounds pounce.
Yeah, and I've no doubt the breakdown in that ball retention area, we've spoken about it a number of times in this opening 27 minutes, but I've no doubt it'll definitely be something that Lindsay Smith will talk about at half time.
A little over 12 minutes to play here in the first half. They go quick at the line out, but the referee says hold your horses, Kevin Coffey. They'll have to go again.
I think there's a bit of uncertainty as to numbers, so Kevin Coffey isn't happy to proceed.
Malloy giving the orders to Clennigan. A few scrappy lineouts, so will this be different? But again, not straight at the line out, not frustrating from a Wolfhounds point of view.
Absolutely, especially when, we've seen Abby Moyles want to go for the boot, and we've seen Amy Larran also use the boot as well. So if you're wanting to get that territorial gain, and even if you're trying to get yourself out of pressure, you need your line out to be functioning, to be able to give you a successful restart and make that territorial gain work to your advantage.
It's been a tough opening half hour for Glasgow Warriors. Can they put something on the scoreboard before half time?
I think so. I mean, I don't think the scoreline reflects their efforts. I really think, without sounding like a broken record, but I really think it's just their breakdown area that's letting them down. They've had some really good phases of play and of interplay and supporting lines when they have had ball. I think they just haven't held on to it enough to be able to benefit from it. So I'd love to see them just settle a bit, string together some phases, and hopefully get on the scoreboard.
And there's Fiona Chute again, striding away on the trot. And Fiona Chute, she deserves a try, and she's got one now.
3rd time's the charm from Fiona with that break. Absolutely Trojan work from her, and delighted for her to get the try.
Using her athletic frame to get over the line. Those long strides.
Yeah, and I think just the Wolfhounds' ability to play on top and just to kind of to break through those initial contact opportunities. Like Erin King taking about 3 Glasgow Warriors attempts to put her down with her fend, and she just knows Fiona Chute's there, the little pop, and Fiona sees the gap. As you said, her long strides getting her all the way over the try line.
Moyles, good from the tee again. 4 from 5 for her today. And 33-0 the score.
I think Glasgow Warriors are doing well in defence. It's just the Wolfhounds are so good at playing on top and playing with the momentum.
That transition.
Yeah, absolutely. So if the Glasgow Warriors can make their front up hits, if they can stick to their defensive structure, not get too many of them sucked in, they'll stop the Wolfhounds being able to play around them and play on top and play with that momentum, which might shut down some of the Wolfhounds' attacking opportunities.
Maeve O'Leary waiting for this one. Comes from a great rugby family. Her brother Shane represented Canada previously. And they get up and chase. But Maggie Boylan being penalised. Her timing was off.
It was a great take by Skye Fimster. You know, despite the attacking presence of Maggie Boylan flying up on her, Skye Fimster was solid underneath that high ball.
McNamara plots them into the corner, just on the 22.
And I think Glasgow Warriors, they're really playing the territorial game well. They know with that penalty.
Just securing the ball at the breakdown is the major issue at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. They know where they need to play, and they're kicking into the right areas, and this is a great attacking area for them. Great launch for them as well. It's just being able to hold on to that ball in their open play to keep them in this game.
Clean take. The maul is brought down, but illegally so, and another penalty. The scrum half teases the quick play, but she's going anyway. Blacklock through the middle is taken by the feet. Shouts of offside from the crowd. Blacklock again. Can they find the key to unlock this defence? Mallamby has to go low, can't take it cleanly, and the attack breaks down.
Yeah, just unlucky there. I think Brer McNamara spotted that the missed pass might be on, but it was just, they were quite flat to that Wolfhounds defence, which makes that pass just quite difficult. So yeah, probably Mallamby having to really try catch it on her fingertips there, and unfortunate with the knock on.
About 6.5 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah, and still a very good attacking opportunity for the Warriors. We see that replay, Poppy Mellenby just trying to catch the ball on her fingertips and on the laces of her boots as well. But still a very good attacking platform for the Warriors. They're in a good position on the park. If they can just put some pressure on the Wolfhounds, keep them in this area.
Escapes.
Exactly, force a mistake. They'll be in a very good position on the pitch.
Higgins so often takes it up first time. A bit like Robbie Henshaw. And here comes the chase. And Katie Corrigan. She's away. Can they catch her? And Katie Corrigan is dragged down just inside the 22. And Corrigan in full flight. It's a great sight. Chewed again, ever involved. O'Leary. And the Wolfhounds get try number 6. And it's the Munster captain, Gorian in Cork, very fitting, Maeve O'Leary.
Yeah, she's very familiar with these grounds, and the crowd here are very happy about it as well. But great work from the Wolfhounds. A real team try there. You know, you talk about going edge to edge play, stretching the defence, and then playing on top with the momentum. That's exactly what they did. There was a great break by Katie Corrigan, really stretched the Warriors, put them on the back foot, and then just the attacking threats of Fiona Chute, Maeve O'Leary. She has such a strong fend in that right arm. Attempted ankle taps, but it wasn't enough to stop the Munster woman from getting over her try.
Maeve O'Leary had a torrid time with injuries in the last couple of years, but great to see her back out playing.
Yeah, and it really looks like she's enjoying her rugby. You can see it coming out in the way she's playing, but she's such a threat to have on your team.
Moyes lines this one up. Over it goes. An AIL winner, of course, in the past, Maeve O'Leary. In your club, Blackrock.
Absolutely, yeah, and as I said, we love having her on our team as well. She's just an all-round great player. You know, wasn't one bit surprised to see her captain in Munster. Just a true leader on and off the pitch in everything that she does. She has such high standards of herself, but also drives that in other players, and such a young player as well. So she's definitely a role model for the younger girls coming through, and really embraces them in the squads.
You kind of forget that about a lot of these players. They're so young, but it seems that they've been around a long time already.
It does, and I think it's a testament to all the work that happens kind of in the pathways and at the grassroots in Irish rugby. You have girls like, I know she's not playing today, but Robin O'Connor or even Amy Larn and Katie Corrigan that we see out there. By the time they reach senior rugby, they've already got such experience through all the age grades and even the women's national talent pathway, that it's great to see them here on the Celtic Challenge stage, bringing all that experience and putting in great performances for this Wolfhound team.
The bouncing ball, tricky for Maggie Boylan. Slips through the net, and Glasgow have the scrum just short of the 10-metre line. 40-0 the score at the moment. 6 tries for the Wolfhounds.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a clinical performance from them. The opening couple of minutes wouldn't have gone the way that they wanted it to go. They were camped on their own try line, but as I said, it's a testament to what they can do. They know that there's a purple patch they have to weather the storm, and they back themselves, back their discipline, and back their attacking structure that's got them this far. And despite all the new changes and new combinations, they still come out and work so well together to produce a 40 points performance in an opening half.
Drawing closer to that half-time break. And it will be a chance for Glasgow just to regroup.
Yeah, you know, we've talked about they're doing a lot of things well. They're putting pressure on the Wolfhounds. They are sticking together defensively. They are getting the breaks. They're trying those support lines, trying those offloads. I think things just aren't going to hand for them, but also they're not retaining the ball, as we've talked about. So a chance to regroup, kind of share some messages from the sidelines, and come out strong in the second half.
Wolfhounds with the squeeze at the scrum, but Glasgow do well to get it away. Close to that touchline, Fimister. Bogan gets away. And Kubra brings them close to the 22. But again, the Wolfhounds, they're relentless at the breakdown. And this time Fiona Chu getting the high fives. Herself and Maeve O'Leary combining.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Wolfhounds. They're just relentless. You know, even in defence, they use defence as an attacking opportunity for them, and they put pressure on teams to resource breakdowns. They force you to think about every aspect of the game, or else they will attack, they will get turnovers, and they will get back into the game. But what a break from Holland Bogan, and I think she's been threatening to do that throughout the game, and just some really good support lines as well from Emily Kubera, that if they can just string together a couple more phases like that, they will pressure this Wolfhounds defence, and they will get those soft shoulders and have those supporting opportunities.
But every time the Wolfhounds launch an attack, they look like scoring. But it's been stolen at the breakdown. This time, the Glasgow Warriors fighting hard on the ground. Blacklock kicks it long. Lauren's watching it. Lauren has time. She runs with it. And she's well marshalled. And Fimister takes her down by the ankles. And Glasgow Warriors win the penalty in the process.
Yeah, a huge moment for Glasgow Warriors.
And they're looking to play Stutcliffe. Bogan. It's on here if they can shift it quickly. Fletcher. Can they get a score before the halftime break? Just something to build the confidence. Kubera working hard. But again, the Wolfhounds nick it. O'Leary, still full of energy, forces the offload, but they'll come back. Or they won't come back for the scrum, rather. It's the half-time whistle, 40-0 the score. 6 tries for the Wolfhounds. And they haven't conceded any points in 120 minutes of rugby.
Yeah, it's been massively impressive. Despite being on their try line a couple of times, their defensive structure is just hold solid. And you know, their attacking structure speaks for itself, really. 40 points in an opening half. They'll be hugely happy going in. But this Warriors team just need to regroup, have a few key messages to work on, key areas to work on, and I expect them to come out strong in this second half as they started the first half.
40-0 the score, and we'll just take you through the highlights of the tries. Fiona Chute, probably the standout performer so far for the Wolfhounds.
Absolutely, and in all different domains of the game. You know, she's had 3 line breaks before she managed to get her own try, but even featuring there in a turnover in the latter aspects of the first half. You know, she really is everywhere across the park and showing the threats that she has and what she brings to this Wolfhounds team.
Eva Malloy scored the first try. The hard work done by Eve Higgins on the short line, and Quiva Malloy followed it up by getting over the whitewash. They showed good composure to score the second, and Aaron King, the Irish captain, touching down. The third try all started with Fiona Chute bursting through the middle, looking for support. She went to ground, they recycled quickly, and Katie Corrigan, the flying machine, couldn't be stopped. A timely step, and off she went underneath the posts.
Yeah, once Katie gets the legs going, it's very difficult to stop her. It almost looks like she's not running as fast as she is, but rest assured she is running that fast. But a flyer out on that wing, and it's great to see her back in the 11 jersey.
The bonus point was wrapped up quickly. And Linda Jugang, plenty of fuel in the tank.
The work she does is just enormous, though. Like, she was involved in those opening few passes in the run up to Maggie getting the ball on that left wing, and yet she's there, the first person there to support Maggie with that offload, and she gets the results of that. She has a bit to run and a bit of work to do, but it just goes to show that hard work off the ball really does come to fruition.
Most experienced player within the 2 Irish squads at the moment, the Clovers and the Wolfhounds.
Yeah, and she's showing what she does best. But Fiona Chute also brought her running boots today, and the forwards showing the backs that they can run the tries in themselves as well.
Aaron King crucial in that build up. And the final try, Maeve O'Leary on a pitch she knows so well. And Abby Moyles with 5 out of 6 from the kick and tee so far. So 40-0 the score. And we'll just show you the highlights now of yesterday's game between Gualia Lightning and Edinburgh Rugby. Enjoy.
With Molly Reardon. The Gualia hooker goes to the back, and Bryony King, and they play away. It's out to Catherine Stewart. The blindside flanker goes very close for Gualia, and then round the corner comes Maisie Davis. Loose head prop, and the Welsh international does go over. It's taken 19 minutes here at Hive Stadium for a first score, but it's Gualia Lightning who go over through Maisie Davis.
Yeah, you felt like it was coming. Pressure again and again. I said we'd probably seen all of the line-out options, but we hadn't seen that breakaway. Just allowed them to play on top continuously. Maisie Davis, Molly Reardon coming around the corner here. 22, a chance 5 metres out.
That's 6+, one line out taken in the middle by Natasha Logan. Oh, this is well set by Edinburgh. It goes down. Was that illegally? Yes, it was, and the referee has no hesitation in heading under the post, awards a penalty try to Edinburgh. The maul was well set, driving towards the Gualia Lightning try line, taken down deliberately, and Edinburgh awarded the penalty try. No need to take the conversion, and they now lead by 7 points to 5.
It's a huge swing from an Edinburgh perspective. The first real chance deep into Gualia Lightning's 22. Well formed maul there. Was creeping forward.
Yeah, we just need to make sure.
Illegally brought down, and
ready to go.
The referee says that one chance is
by Ayla Ronald, can't get herself out of there quickly enough, so penalty advantage. Bryony King
say if you want it 9.
That's a big tackle by Edinburgh, strung across their own 5 metre line. Here come Lightning again, Lily Terry this time, the other second row. Well, here she is again, Maisie Davis charges over for her second try, her side's second try. And the Gualia Lightning loose head prop takes the Welsh side back into the lead.
Well finished off by Maisie Davis. Came from that line out, which actually came from a Maisie Davis turnover just in the halfway line to begin with. So she started it all off, gets herself around the corner. She's been inside every.
Gualia Lightning will look to be clinical here. They wasted several opportunities in the opening 15 minutes of the first half inside the Edinburgh 22. The ball taken cleanly at the line out. The maul looks well set, just inching forward, now gathering a bit of momentum. Edinburgh having to throw bodies into there, and Gualia Lightning sense there might be space as they play away. Catherine Stewart clattering into contact. They're just a metre or so away. Out to the captain, Bryony King. And over she goes. How on earth did she get herself through the Edinburgh bodies there? But Bryony King, the Gualia Lightning captain and number 8, goes in with the second half just a minute old.
The perfect start to the second half from a Gualia Lightning point of view. Really good kick to get them down into this position, and then it's just about getting their forwards around the corner, carrying with momentum. Bryony King on her own there, but takes 3 Edinburgh defenders, works the ground and gets a good reach over the line.
Training, first involvement in a Scotland training camp this week.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we had our first Scotland training camp of the season this week. 50 players involved, 28 from the Celtic Challenge.
Well, it's been turned over though, and away goes Bryony King. Can she go in for her second try? She can indeed.
I think it was Sean Jones.
It was indeed.
Just as all good scrum halves, ready to pop on the ball when it pops out, and good acceleration to beat the defender. But I think that took everyone off guard a bit.
Well, certainly us. Another look at it here. It was an Edinburgh scrum came out, and you're right, it was Sean Jones, the scrum half. Edinburgh set up to attack, to kick, and Sean Jones alert to the opportunity, and she goes in past Pip Benson. Still with Edinburgh. Pip Benson driven back. Oh, it's been turned over, and Allow Perth with the powerful carry gets the hands free. Nice offload to her second row partner. In fact, that Maisie Davis involved again. Now comes the number 8, Bryony King, gets the ball away to Lily Terry, who gallops over the try line. Well, Gualia Lightning just bursting into life again. And it's Lily Terry, the Gualia Lightning second row.
Okay.
He goes over for their 5th try.
Gualia Lightning finding spaces with ease in this second half now. Started with that carry from Allow Pierce. We haven't spoken a huge amount about the offloads, but before this game, 4 out of the top 5 offloads. Sorry, I'll start that again. Looking at this,
to make a metre or two in behind Wilson, in behind everybody. Edinburgh have to go back to tidy up through Adele Ferry. Scotland International doing well. And Edinburgh deciding they're not going anywhere. It's been charged down. It's Lily Terry who's just scored. Can she get herself a second try? The referee on the spot awards the try. And Lily Terry, the second row, couldn't quite believe her luck there. The charge down and the attempted clearance from Hannah Ramsey. And then she wins the foot race, touches down for her second try in the space of 10 minutes. And Gualia Lightning firmly in control now.
just a little bit flat from Hannah Ramsey there, just straight into the second row.
At Hive Stadium, that might be the final say for Gualia Lightning, trying to find space outside Edinburgh. Caitlin Lewis was lurking. Double try scorer Lily Terry. There again for Hawkins. King out the back to Richards. And then McMullen.
Yeah, scrum advantage.
Ball squirts out the back for Kat Richards, and she's away. The Gualia Lightning fullback will put the icing on the cake for the Welsh side. Races in under the posts. 7th try of the day for Gualia Lightning.
Clock right, is it 10? Good.
Felt like it was coming again. Gualia stretching the ball a little bit wide, and then Cat Richard just spotting that they weren't.
Thanks.
Edinburgh defence not working.
10.
So Cat Richards looks to convert her own try. Up go the flags, and that will be the final act of the game as referee Sam O'Neill blows for full time. And it was one-way traffic in the second half. Only 5 points the difference at the break, with Gualia Lightning leading by 12 points to 7, but 31 unanswered points in the second half.
Thanks.
5 tries to the 2 scored by Maisie Davis, our player of the match in the first half. And a resounding victory for the Welsh side. It finished here at Hive Stadium in round 5 of the Celtic Challenge. Edinburgh Rugby 7, Gualia Lightning 43.
That's all right. Thanks.
Gualia Lightning with an impressive victory yesterday against Edinburgh, keeping themselves in that top 4 picture. And that's the difference this year, Emer. There will be semi-finals, there will be a final. So as long as you're in the top 4, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and I think that's massively exciting for players. I know I mentioned it in the opening game of the Celtic Challenge this year. You know, these players are so used to doing their analysis, previewing the teams they're playing and reviewing their performances, that to get a second bite at the cherry as such, and to play teams again, and to learn from your prior performances against them, and to know maybe their attacking style and how you're going to defend that, or ways that you can attack, is a hugely exciting opportunity for these players, and I think it's massively deserved and just makes the whole tournament very exciting for all the spectators.
It's almost a new competition in itself once you get there. It
is, and you know, regardless of the performances, once you're in that top 4, as you said, it's all to play for at that stage. And I think you know we've seen from the games the difference in a week in how teams prep for the new opposition and how they play and what they bring to the game week on week. They're all learning and they're all progressing, so I think it's going to be very interesting having semi-finals and finals, and I think teams will learn and will elevate their performances for those kind of closing rounds.
Going back, so not to run.
159 points in 2.5 games from the Wolfhounds. Some achievement.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's just their interplay, really. You know, they're so varied in attack, and they can attack from all areas of the park, but it's the interplay between them. We don't see, you know, very static, very slow breakdowns. We see them trying to play that two-way game, them trying to get the offloads, and that's really, really hard to defend. It makes a defence, you know, have to question if the tackle is complete, question if they have to get back on side, you know, they're always on the back end of that momentum, and I think the Wolfhounds just really, you know, they really play with that momentum. It goes in their favour. They like the jouet game, and it's led to them scoring all those points, and it is very, very difficult to defend. And
you mentioned it in the first half, but credit to the forwards, they're almost as quick as the backs.
They are, and I think women's rugby in general, it's going that way across the park. You know, huge credit to all the S&C across all the teams in this Celtic Challenge. We're seeing the profiles of players absolutely change, and it's changing the game. It's opening up attacking threats. We see Linda DeJong, we see Fiona Chute making breaks, Emily Kubra is an 8, you know, exceptional breaks, as well as Holland Bogan. So, you know, having those threats all across the park mean that a defence, you know, they have to stay on you, they have to look at the supporting channels, they have to maybe connect a bit more, which leaves gaps elsewhere on the park. So huge work and huge testament to all the S&C, the physique and the fitness of all the players in the competition, and I think it's massively exciting and changing the game.
It's all about being dynamic in modern day rugby.
I mean, who doesn't want to run fast, Kieran?
I wish I could. They drill low the restart. Glasgow getting set. Ainsworth. The Wolfhounds come up quickly. Blacklock goes to the boot. They're going to run it back. Or they're going to kick and run, I should say. Blacklock. And a huge hit comes in, and Caoimhe Malloy is all over it. And Caoimhe Malloy gets her second try. But it all comes from that huge hit in defence. Caoimhe Malloy tidies up the scraps.
Yeah, massive hit from Kate Jordan. But I think there was a little bit of miscommunication there in the backfield. Beth Blacklock, I think, was a bit unsure as to whether she was receiving the ball, and it just gave time for Abby Moyles to be able to come up and put that pressure. And as you said, the Wolfhounds, they're just so relentless. Kate Jordan really had Gemma Bell lined up there, and Caoimhe Malloy selling a couple of dummies and getting herself over the line.
Played for the Irish Defence Forces before Caoimhe Malloy.
She did. She's an army woman.
A great servant for her team and country.
And she'll always tell you that she's from Gorey. She gets that in every conversation.
And another conversion added by Moyles. And they start the second half quite like they ended the first half, the Wolfhounds.
Yeah, and I think it's so hard for this Glasgow Warriors team. The Wolfhounds are just capitalising off every little error that the Warriors make. I'd love to see them just be able to put the pressure on, and they're starting that by retaining their own kickoff, which is excellent.
Bogan, she's been the standout so far for Glasgow, setting the example. They get it out wide, and now this is the chance for them to get going. Allen on the wing. They want quick ball. Spence. Ainsworth. Wolfhounds come up quickly again. They lose a bit of ground, and the Wolfhounds, the defensive line speed forces the knock on.
Yeah, Claire Bowles is very quick coming up in that defensive line along with Linda DeJong, and I think it was just Megan Hyland unfortunately there with the knock on. But great opening attack from this Warriors team. Again, they're trying to get it to that edge, and Breer McNamara identifying that there was a huge amount of space out here on this left wing for Robin Allen. But the Wolfhounds defensive structure, we talked to Neil Alcorn at the opening of this game, and he said it wasn't so much the points that the Wolfhounds had scored, it was the points against them that he was hugely impressed by. So clearly their defence is something that they take huge amount of pride in, and we see it stand the challenges there of the Warriors in that last phase of play.
Rihanna Darroch comes in, started last week on the bench this week, but she's in at the start of the second half, or close to the start of the second half, and a penalty for the Wolfhounds straight down. Moyles goes for distance, but there was a Glasgow player there to take it in, but the Wolfhounds have possession. Or do they? No, Glasgow do rather. My apologies.
Trusted Holland Bogan to carry that one up.
Bogan been so good, and Glasgow on the break now. They want to add tempo into this attack. Bogan again. Out to Phimister. But again, the Wolfhounds slowing things down. Blacklock kicks it long. The Wolfhounds are going to stick it up. Sutcliffe falls on that one but gets possession. Blacklock again, engaging in the kicking tennis. Corrigan, so dangerous from these sort of situations. Eve Higgins with the handoff. And Eve Higgins in full flight gets the offload off to her centre partner, and the Wicklow woman, Vicky Elms-Kinlan, crosses the whitewash for try number 8.
Yeah, a great interplay between the backs there. I think the kick battle had begun between both teams, but up here in the comms box we can just hear the communication between the backs. Katie Corrigan was absolutely screaming at Abby Moyles that she didn't want that one to be kicked again. And you know, she was aware, constantly running with the ball in two hands, aware she had Eve Higgins outside her, and Eve with just that massive fend of her left hand getting around the outside of the Glasgow Warriors defence. Again, being aware that she has Vicky on her inside, she steps, just engages the last defender from the Warriors, and Vicky Elms-Kinlan, again no stranger to the try line, scoring 2 last weekend and getting her first try on the board today.
Her dad Mark is a great rugby man and he'll be delighted with that. And a rare mistake from Moyles from the kicking tee. Stays at 52-0.
I think it's been great to see Moyles just slotting in today. You know, it's not easy to slot in at 10 and be that communication between both the forwards and the backs. You know, making very time-sensitive decisions under high balls, whether you're going to engage in the kick battle, when to ship it out wide. But she's been very impressive today, and she's been really, really solid kicking those conversions as well. So great work from Abby Moyles.
The Wolfhounds send the restart back. Malambi runs cross field, goes through a gap, and here's Allen. Kicks it forward, well tidied up by the Wolfhounds. Chute axis scrum half. Jugang soft hands. King. They're up to halfway now. Everyone rumbling around the corner. The floating pass doesn't go to hand and will reset at the scrum.
Yeah, just an opportunity for everyone to get a bit of a breather. I think the Wolfhounds have done very well. They're slowing down everything in defence while they're not putting in a lot of players to challenge the breakdown. They're really well identifying the opportunities when it's on to go in for the poach, or when it's on to just put a bit of pressure on, slow it down, let the Wolfhounds get players back on feet to be able to have a full defensive line to come up and put pressure then on Glasgow Warriors.
All the options lining to the left for Glasgow Warriors, one on the right. Blacklock, always eager to get on the ball, but disconnected, and the ball fumbles out of their hands, and back to the scrum we go.
Yeah, just I think kind of summing up how the day is going so far for them. I think she was just, you know, trying to see if Kate Farrell-McCabe, who's come in, was going to stick on her with the dummy or not. She was aware she had numbers out on her left hand side, and just unfortunately a bit in between decisions, and the ball going forward ultimately.
And the Clovers and the Wolfhounds in fine form at the moment. So a lot for Scott Beeman to think about heading into that Six Nations. Plenty of players in form.
100%, and that's exactly where we'll want to be as a union. And I think the other unions will be the same from the performances that we've seen. You know, we want to have as many players as possible putting up their hands for selection, and the Celtic Challenge has been a huge, it's really established itself as a competition with great calibre performances and where these players want to be playing. They know where it stands and the opportunity it is for them. So great to see the Celtic Challenge has established itself in the women's rugby calendar, and that it has some great matches and great fixtures with great quality of games.
Lambie watching this kick. Does well to get away from the defenders. Driving the legs. And away the Glasgow Warriors go. Fimister gets them up to the 10 metre.
There's numbers out here on this left hand side for the Warriors if they can just get it out. Robin Allen is screaming for it.
Robin Allen wants it, but she doesn't get it. And Erin King has a bite, and she's punished with the penalty. But Gemma Bell, she had Robin Allen in support. Maybe she could have released that pass.
Yeah, I think the Wolfhounds were under pressure there. Perhaps Gemma Bell had done all the hard work if she had just released Robin Allen that bit earlier. But very unfortunately, haven't even made touch there. So
a complete miscue.
And a miscue from Abby Moyles means that we do actually go back to Glasgow Warriors throw in just inside the 22.
Swings and roundabouts. Bogan slips through her fingers, but not to worry, Glasgow still have. Is this their chance to get a try? Bogan again. Such a hard-working player.
Wolfhounds attempting the hold up there.
They go down that right flank, try to find some room.
Bogan again with a big carry.
Bogan, she's everywhere for her team. Bell is dealt with. Wolfhounds slowing down that ball. Bogan again. And they go through the middle. And there's the try. And who else but Holland Bogan?
And so well deserved from her. We've mentioned her name so many times in both the first and second half of this game. She's just worked relentlessly. She's done some hard carries when she's been asked. She's been rooking over and clearing out and protecting that ball. She's been really their primary option in the line out as well, which has been hugely successful for them when they have had line out opportunities. So great to see her getting some points on the board.
And look, days like today are tough sometimes, but that's when you need your leaders, the likes of Holland Bogan, who can stand up for you.
It is, especially in the pack. It's a hugely tiring day when you are defending lots of scrums, lots of high contact collisions, lots of backtracking as well from a team that likes to play on top. So to have a leader like her in the pack, to be able to really rally together the forward pack, but also encourage those younger girls, she's a great asset to the team.
And substitute Millie Warren adds the extras. The first try of the day for the Glasgow Warriors. So the Wolfhounds whitewash has been breached.
We haven't seen much of them having to respond to tries against them, so it'd be interesting to see now these next few phases of play.
Not in 130 minutes anyway. And now the Glasgow Warriors, they're coming to life. Ainsworth kicks, but straight to the waiting player. But you can see what that try has done for the confidence of Glasgow Warriors. Elmskirchen, but the knock on. They weren't on the same page. And Glasgow Warriors putting the pressure on Wolfhounds.
They are, and this is the pressure that we saw in that opening few minutes of the game, so they definitely are capable of doing it. As we talked about throughout the game, Kieran, they've strung together some very nice attacking phases. Perhaps just the last decision making letting them down, maybe not releasing the ball when it needed to go, or perhaps choosing incorrect options. But, you know, that try and the pressure that they've put on, they are capable of doing it, and hopefully they get some confidence from the try, and there's still plenty of minutes left in the second half.
Absolutely. We saw last week they got 5 tries, so they did leave Belfast with a point, and that could be crucial come the end of regular action.
It could, with the top 4 having semi-finals and finals, every point is a point well earned.
But the Wolfhounds look to break. Boylan. The Wolfhounds absorbing the hits for the moment. They go out the back. Elmskirchen. So hard to stop. Sutcliffe with the tackle. Been really impressed with her in the last couple of matches for Glasgow Warriors.
Abby Moyles showing the skills there with the touch.
And Glasgow Warriors with a great effort to push the Wolfhounds into touch. A little bit of afters on the ground, but all's well.
Wonder will Holland Bogan be their primary option in this line-out? She's been so solid so far, and who they do seem to have gone to.
And of course, the Glasgow Warriors will be at home against the Clovers in the next game. And the Wolfhounds infringing at the breakdown.
Yeah, unfortunately it looked like Fiona Chute had that turnover, but just Kevin Coffey saying that there was no clear release from the tackle and that she was involved in that, so penalty against the Wolfhounds.
Has this been the best passenger play for Glasgow Warriors in this game? The last 10 minutes, they've been the better side.
Absolutely. I think I was hugely impressed by how they started the first half. They had the Wolfhounds kind of camped on their try line, but definitely the last couple of moments, as you mentioned, has been really, really promising from them, and they seem to have taken confidence from that, and they're just playing a little more calmly into their structures.
You knew exactly where that was going.
I've done my homework here on.
To the tallest woman. Through the middle they go again. The back row bell. They've got a pep in their step now, Glasgow Warriors. They want more. This is much better. The scrum half darts. And again, Bogan involved in the build-up. Glasgow making a few dents in the Wolfhounds' rear guard. But the Wolfhounds, they've nicked it. Kubarak gets it free. Here's Allen, steps back on the inside into traffic. And Glasgow Warriors, they're the team in the ascendancy right now. All forward work.
I think there was a knock on there, but Kevin Coffey says there was an infringement prior to that.
This is really good from Glasgow Warriors.
It is, and I think, you know, it's the comfort in being able to go through the phases. I think all the games have been competitive throughout this competition, that you can't be expecting, or it's not realistic to be expecting to score in kind of one or two phases. You really need to be comfortable going through that phases as a team. So it's great to see them just being more composed and calm in how they're playing, and look where they are on the pitch to show for that.
Megan Hyland back to the old reliable. Here comes the maul. Will they produce the end product?
Advantage.
Another advantage. Free play.
I wonder, Kevin Coffey seems to be stopping the play, so I wonder will he be having a discussion. It's a card for Fiona Chute.
Fiona Chute gonna spend some time on the naughty step. And same again.
Line again.
You can put your house on it that this is going to Bogan. They peel away.
Ball's available.
The Wolfhounds do really well to stop that from getting any traction. Bogan again.
Short, let it come.
Just short. And they get over. And it's a try for Glasgow Warriors, but nothing less than what they deserve.
I think it's Imogen Spence who's getting the credit for that.
Yeah, but you can't hold her up.
Might be the scrum half, Rihanna Darrick.
Okay. Okay. She has to be brought down.
Yeah, but well, my feet haven't even touched the floor yet.
I stand to be corrected.
Not a reward. Okay. Now look for it.
Who else? Colin Bogan with an absolutely exceptional carry again.
And Darrick, the replacement scrum half from the base, didn't have a lot to do, but she spotted a bit of room, and with the finishing touch she gets Glasgow Warriors' second try of the game. Another clean strike from Millie Warren, and they're reducing the deficit little by little, the Glasgow Warriors.
They are, and I think they've always been capable of doing it. As we said, it was just retaining the ball, and they seem to be a lot more comfortable now. They've gotten into their stride of going through the phases, settling with the ball, and staying calm, and just tipping away at this Wolfhounds defence. And here they are, 12 points up for it.
And the Wolfhounds will be restricted to just 14 players for the next 9 minutes or so, with Fiona Chute in the bin. Or 8 minutes, I should say. A miscalculation by me. Warren gets that one away and finds the target of the touchline.
Yeah, great kick to be able to pin the ball to land between the players, get that grass, and get the ball out over the sideline.
And it can be so hard to lift the heads at half time when you haven't scored and you've conceded 40 points in the first half. But Glasgow Warriors, they're still here, they're still playing, and they deserve massive credit for that.
They do, and it's a testament to the whole team, but also their management staff and their support staff. They will know what they're capable of doing, and the performances that the areas of the performances that they haven't been happy with. So just having some clear messaging and being able to identify small areas that will have a massive impact on the game will no doubt be kind of what they talked about at half time.
And again, not straight at the line out. India Daly this time in Atoka.
Yeah, and I think the line out will be an area that the Wolfhounds won't be hugely happy with today. They've had multiple infringements, not straight, overthrowing, and as we talked about earlier, Kieran, if you're using it as a launch play or as an area to clear your lines and get out of pressure zones, you really need to be have a high success in your line out. So probably an area that they won't be too happy with today.
And Glasgow come again. They've got 2 tries. Can they get another 2 to put a point on the board?
They've numbers out on this left hand side.
Malambi is well taken in the tackle. Glasgow Warriors playing at speed now, playing with confidence. They get it away.
Oh!
And Sky Finister. It wasn't Sky Finister on that occasion, actually.
It was Ellie Williamson, I think. Just the ball from Brír McNamara with a great break was just a little bit behind her on her hip. She tried to juggle with it, but unfortunately just didn't go to hand. But great work from Warriors, getting outside that shoulder of Claire Bowles. Brír McNamara and plenty of space, knows she has a 2v1, and as you said, just on the inside hip of Ellie Williamson there, having to stretch and juggle with the ball. But still a very good position on the park for the Warriors team. They'll want to be putting pressure on the Wolfhounds, keeping them in this zone and keeping the pressure on the Wolfhounds team.
And you can see that Glasgow Warriors attack is starting to connect now. It's starting to click.
It is, and you need that bit of confidence, and I think that's the Wolfhounds are profiting off how well they've been doing so far. You need kind of those UA moments to be paying off in a game for you to have the confidence to be able to execute them. And things like that break from Brír McNamara and interplay with Williamson, had that, it's high risk, high reward. Had that paid off, Williamson was possibly in for a try. But great to see them having the confidence to play like that, and the supporters there are enjoying a bit of a dance and a cheeky tongue out.
A good crowd here at Virgin Media Park.
Warriors putting huge pressure on that Wolfhounds. Look at this, they're
Fighting for the
piling
ball.
bodies into that breakdown.
And they get the penalty as the reward.
16 in the side.
And they're just playing the basics right, They're identifying where they are on the park. They know if they put pressure on the Wolfhounds in this area, that they will be in a very good attacking platform. Brír McNamara being handed the ball to kick for a line-out, putting them in a hugely beneficial attacking position. So very smart, but very simple play, and doing the basics really, really well.
They look more composed in the second half.
They do. Maybe we should get a hold of what the halftime talk was, Kieran.
Looks like Katie Lindsay is coming in as well for Glasgow Warriors. Bogan, the target of choice nearly every time. Edging forward, but they might have to use it here. Darrick takes it out. A lovely pass out the back door. Fullback Malambi, and Poppy Malambi gets it away to her winger Allen. This is great rugby from the Glasgow Warriors. But Kubera couldn't find a receiver to the pass, and the Wolfhounds relieved the danger. Allen fires herself up. Bimister on the outside.
She has pace.
Gets her wheels in motion. And Sky Finister taken by the ankles. But Glasgow playing all the rugby in the last 15 minutes. Here's Lindsay. Her first touch. Glasgow.
Use it.
Playing with promise.
It's just their dominance in the collision zone. They're making those yards after contact that they weren't making in the first half, and it's meaning that the Wolfhounds defence are having to take that extra step or two to get back on side. And it's just being dominant in those areas that they're really profiting off.
And Poppy Malambi connects with her centre, and Brír McNamara gets over the line for the try, and one more and they have a losing bonus point.
Yeah, and similar to last weekend, they've shown that they can do it. It's just all about getting the confidence of being able to execute what you're practicing in training against a competitive opposition. As you said, they've had all the play in these last kind of 15 minutes. So it's great to see from them, great to see them, really doing the basics very well, and then that interplay and the offloads really going to hand, and they're getting the reward for it.
McNamara was on the score sheet last week, and she's on the score sheet again this week. And another conversion is added. And if we're looking at the halftime score, it's 21-12 in favour of the Glasgow Warriors. So a game of two halves.
Absolutely, and you know, I think they've really just had some key messages at half time. They've remained calm, they've played through their phases. They're really looking at that contact area and making those extra yards after contact that, as I said, are putting the Wolfhounds on the back foot. And then just getting in good attacking positions, getting on the outside shoulder of the Wolfhounds to be able to get those offloads through the contact. And when you have pace like that out in the wings, it's great to see that they've got onto the scoreboard for it.
And now it's a race against time as they go in search of that losing bonus point. Try. A little under 10 minutes left to play. And Larn goes into contact. And it's the Wolfhounds that are on their heels at the moment. They look a bit flustered. Malloy, or Barrett I should say, Elmskinlin. The Wolfhounds trying to get themselves into this 22 for the first time in a little while.
Leave.
And Glasgow Warriors get the penalty, and everything going their way at the moment.
It is. I think they're changing their tactics a bit in the breakdown area. They're kind of trying to match the Wolfhounds, so Warriors aren't putting in as many bodies in to challenge the breakdown area when they're in defence, which is allowing them having more players out to pressure ball. And the Wolfhounds are feeling that pressure. Warriors making very good decisions as to when to poach and when to stay out, which is really meaning that they've more bodies out wide and allowing them to put more pressure on the Wolfhounds.
You said it at the halftime break, Emer. If they could get that breakdown sorted out, they'd be flying.
Exactly. You can have the best plays in the world, but if you're not retaining ball, you're never going to get it out there. And it is a very simple fix, but a really key aspect of the game that can have a huge impact on your play. It's all about possession, and at the moment the Warriors are playing on top, and they've been dominant throughout this second half.
And Darragh wants quick ball. They want that losing bonus point. It's amazing what a bit of confidence can do to the play. Kubra, one of the standouts for Glasgow Warriors in this competition.
Advantage.
Allen is hit hard, but they have the advantage, and they'll come back for the advantage.
Yeah. Kevin Coffey just aware that we have an injury to one of the Glasgow Warriors players, so blowing it up, and both teams getting a chance to regroup. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
And Emer, it's around that time where you have to start thinking about your player of the match.
Just talk to the defence, set those pillars and take a step back from
Yeah, there's
with
been
an offside over here.
some great performances across the park. Two of the names we've mentioned a lot on the Glasgow Warriors side, Holland Bogan, and great to see her getting across for a try of her own, being hugely present throughout today. Sky Fimister's been great, kind of putting on aerial pressure. She's been a great attacking option for them out wide, really showing her pace. Wolfhounds, a lot of players putting up their hands as well, both from the forwards and the backs. I think Abby Moyles has done exceptionally well coming in today at 10, both kicking off the tee but also open play kicking, open play decision making, really linking up the backs and the forwards. Linda DeJong, we can't go without talking about her breaks and turnovers and what she brings to this game. But I think today,
always in the running for player of the match, you feel.
Exactly, yeah. But I think of all the players that have kind of impressed me today, Fiona Chute has been absolutely exceptional. You know, she's had line breaks, she's got a try, She's had turnovers. A little bit unlucky to get the yellow card there, perhaps almost a bit of a team penalty in that mall area, in their red defensive zone, but across the park she has shown exactly what she brings to this team and how much you want her to be in your pack. So for me today, the player of the match is Fiona Chute, the Wolfhounds.
But the Glasgow Warriors are still playing. They're still fighting for points, and here's Hyland. He gets it away, and the substitute steps back inside. They rumble forward, and Glasgow, they can smell the bonus point.
Release, roll.
Keeping it in tight, knocking on the door. They go out to the backs.
They've numbers out on that right hand side, Kieran.
Malambi and Sky Finister on the outside rallies forward, and that's the try bonus point. And if you had said to them at half time 40-0 down, you can still get a point from this game, they would have bitten your hand off. And Glasgow Warriors fighting to the very end, scoring 4 tries in the second half.
I think they would have, but I think, all throughout us and both the supporters here in the crowd as well, we knew that they were capable of producing attack like that when they held on to ball. Just some great ball handling skills throughout that back line, and a really nice dummy line ran, but it was the draw and pass by Poppy Malambi. She perfectly timed that to give Sky Finister the opportunity to burn Niamh Marley on the outside, and Niamh Marley is an exceptionally fast player, so don't be fooled by how quick Sky Finister is. But yeah, it's just been great to see this Warriors team come into their own, string together those attacking phases that we knew they were capable of, and what a turn of events it's been in the second half for them.
Almost over, like the crossbar challenge. And the first miss of the day for Millie Warren. Been exceptional since coming in.
Hold on. Change to black.
52-26 to score. But the second half score 26-12.
Yeah, I think, Warriors, when they reflect on this game, would possibly think that they've left a lot out there. They started off so strong and put the Wolfhounds really under pressure on their try line. So if they can produce a performance like this in a second half, where things like fatigue come into play, you'd really be wondering what could be if they started like that.
And this is full flow now. Like the French, jouet, Glasgow Warriors, non-stop. Foot on the acceleration, no breaks at the moment from the Glasgow Warriors.
They're so organised, stretching that Wolfhounds defence, but just the handling letting them down.
And a great second half of rugby. And it's great for younger players to be watching that. You should never give up. Always keep fighting.
Exactly, and even other teams in this competition will be watching this game, and if they have the Wolfhounds coming up or Glasgow Warriors coming up, they'll be looking to see what attacking threats they bring and how they play. So anyone looking to play the Glasgow Warriors will need to really remember that they are an 80 minutes team and that they can produce a performance like this in a second half, and that's going to be something that will play on coach's mind and will affect kind of team selections and playing styles going forward.
Glasgow have numbers. They move it quickly. If there was an extra 20 minutes in this game, who knows? Glasgow Warriors could have pulled it straight back.
Yeah, and look, speaking to Lindsay Smith, the head coach of the Warriors prior to the game, she wanted an 80-minute performance, and I think she can be hugely proud that this team has played until the 80 minutes, and what a second half performance from them. So now it's just about stringing together all those positives for the Warriors, the positives from their attacking play, the positives from defensively, the pressure that they've put on the Wolfhounds, and their ability to keep playing to 80 minutes and to produce a full rounded performance. They will be a team to look out for this kind of second half of fixtures in the Celtic Challenge competition.
It must be hard to pick a player of the match in this sort of game, because you could almost have a player of the match for the first half from a Wolfhounds perspective, but in the second half you could pick somebody from the Glasgow Warriors.
Absolutely, and you know, Sky Fimster in this second half has definitely been a name that we've mentioned multiple times, from setting up players to also showing that she has wheels to burn on the edge. It's been a great second half from her and a great performance, and she's showcasing what she brings to this team and how much she really wants to hang on to that 14 jersey.
Of course, she has ambitions to be within that Scotland setup come Six Nations time.
Definitely, and all players, all athletes at this level will have dreams of getting into their respective Six Nation teams. So to be able to perform at this level puts your hand up, gets you noticed, and Sky Fimster has definitely put her hand up for me in this second half.
Not long left to play, and this will be the last play, you feel. A scrum for the Glasgow Warriors.
Time.
But that's that, and that's all done. 52-26. But it really was a game of two halves, two different stories. 40-0 was the score after the first half, but the Glasgow Warriors fought to the very end. 4 tries in the second half earns them a losing bonus point. Similar to last week, they got 5 tries last week, but they get 4 this week, so 2 points in Ireland from back-to-back weekends. But the Wolfhounds do come out on top, 5 wins in a row now, keep their 100% record going. And as you heard, Fiona Chute is the player of the match today. Brilliant in that first half for the Wolfhounds. 52-26 the score. And next week we'll have more rugby for you. The Glasgow Warriors are at home to the Clovers, with the Wolfhounds at home to Gualia Lightning. And what a game that should be. Gualia Lightning in fine form. Macy Davis, one of the players of the tournament so far. She'll be here in Cork next week with the Gualia Lightning team as they try and put a loss on the record of the Wolfhounds. And we'll just take you through the highlights now.
I couldn't hear you, Mike. I'm sorry, mate.
And back to the first half. It was all the Wolfhounds in the first half. They piled on the points, and that made the difference in the end. Caoimhe Malloy with the first try of the day. And it was the Irish captain, Aaron King, who got the second. It was a fast start from the Wolfhounds. Here was the third try. That initial burst from player of the match, Fiona Chute, got them going. A quick recycle. And the hands did the rest. Katie Corrigan in full flight. Can't be stopped. And we'll have post-match interviews, don't forget, with Neil Alcorn and player of the match Fiona Chute coming up after these highlights. So stay tuned. Linda Dugang, so good. There's a reason she has so many caps for Ireland. A prop that can do it all. That was the bonus point. The fifth try, Fiona Chute, the player of the match. got herself on the score sheet. What a performance from her today, especially in that first half. The last try of the first half. Came from Munster captain Maeve O'Leary. Caoimhe Malloy got the scoring started for the second half. A loose ball, she pounced on it. And the last Wolfhounds try, Eve Higgins worked hard on the outside before connecting with her centre partner Vicky Elms-Kinlan. The last try for the Wolfhounds. But the Glasgow Warriors, it was all about them after that try. 4 tries in a row. And now Emer is down pitch side with the coaches Neil Alcorn and player of the match Fiona Chute.
Neil, Fiona, thanks for joining us after another comprehensive win. Neil, great to see some new combinations today with Jade, Abby Moyles, Amy Larn. What pleased you most about today's performance?
For me, the opportunity the girls were given, they took some really good opportunities today. I think we showed in the first half how quick and how we want to play. We just need to make sure we kind of keep going through for the full 80.
Absolutely. And I suppose 3 line-out errors, was that an area of concern for you, and will it be a focus going forward?
Usually no, it's not a concern, but yes, it's something that we just need to make sure we get right. We try, as I say, try and move around a wee bit and try and get opportunities to get at them, but I think just look back at our process and our drill, make sure we're right for next week.
Absolutely. And Fiona, congratulations on your player of the match performance. Some great breaks, an exceptional try. How are you feeling after today?
Thank you, Emer. Yeah, feeling good. We started with such good momentum in that first half. We played on top, played with pace. It was really good. We know we dropped off a little bit in the second half and disappointed personally with that yellow card, but really, really happy. Thought we were absolutely motoring in that first half, and a lot to build on now for next week.
Perfect. And you mentioned, I suppose, that second half. Glasgow Warriors really came out strong in that second half and put you under some great defensive pressure. What do you think the team will learn from that?
Yeah, Glasgow were brilliant there in that second half. I thought their subs brought a massive impact as well. They really upped the tempo that they were playing with, and defensively we just felt smothered. We'll learn a lot from it. I think we'll have to stay really switched on during that half-time break. We'll come out and I think we'll have to launch. We got to score really early on, but it's building on that, not scoring, switching off and then letting them come on top of us. So I think it's mental resilience through there and just sticking to our process rather than compounding errors on top of one another.
Great, well thanks for sharing, and best of luck in the upcoming games.
Thanks, Emer. Cheers.
And we're back with the highlights. We didn't forget about the Glasgow Warriors. What a strong finish from them. Holland Bogan with the first Glasgow Warriors try, first of 4. The second, Bogan involved again, but it was the substitute scrum half, Darroch, who had the final touch. Glasgow Warriors had their third when they went out the back. Poppy Melambi involved, got her hands free to Briere McNamara, getting her second try in 2 weeks. and the losing bonus point was in the bag when they went wide, and Sky Fimister on the outside got her wheels in motion, rallied forward, and that was the bonus point. Back-to-back losing try bonus points for Glasgow Warriors against the Clovers last week in Belfast, and now against the Wolfhounds here in Cork. Now we'll look at the table. We'll look at the results first. Gualia Lightning with the first win of the weekend, and Clovers won earlier on today, 29-12, keeping the pressure on league leaders, the Wolfhounds. And then it all finished here in round 5 with the Wolfhounds 52-26 winners. But as I said, it was a game of two halves, a game of two stories. But the Wolfhounds keep their 100% winning record going. And looking at the table, perfect so far, the Wolfhounds 25 from 25, but closely followed by Gualia Lightning on 22 and fellow Irish team the Clovers on 19. Glasgow Warriors, they're still in the playoff places on 9 points, and that's all that matters come the end of regular action, being in that top 4 to get a place in the semi-finals. And what a day. The next round is next week, of course. Glasgow Warriors, their Irish expedition finishes today, and they'll head back home next week to host the Clovers. Edinburgh Rugby host Britain Thunder, and the Wolfhounds will be back here for a top of the table clash with Welsh team Gualia Lightning. So plenty of rugby to look forward to next week and in the coming weeks here in the Celtic Challenge. And again, a good day of rugby, both Irish teams coming out on top. First the Clovers, then the Wolfhounds. The Wolfhounds stay top, they stay unbeaten, they're the team to beat. And thank you all for watching again this weekend, and we'll be back with you next weekend for a fresh round of action. Look after yourselves.